Welcome back to FretBuzz with Ash. Last week we did an unboxing of the Strymon Iridium, and I gotta say, straight out of the box I was really impressed. It was so easy to dial up good tones and just start playing right out the box. It was like very intuitive. So the idea for this week was to go ahead and do a deep dive and kind of run the pedal through its paces. But the more time I spent with the Iridium, I realized what you guys really want to know is how are you going to use it so you can decide if you want to get one for yourself. So what I decided to do is answer some practical questions like, how am I going to use it? What tones can I expect? Does it handle pedals well? And what sets it apart from other amp modelers? Now, if you're really looking forward to a deep dive, don't fret, pun intended. I'm going to put some great links in the description so you can go ahead and jump down the rabbit hole and get your Iridium fix. But for the rest of us, let's go ahead and get into it. The Iridium was designed specifically to replace an amp. So pretty much any application where you would use your amplifier, you can replace it with the Iridium. Now, coming out of the Iridium, you can go straight to the PA through a DI, or you can go straight to your recording interface, and or if you want to be able to monitor yourself without using in-ears, you can also connect it straight to a flat response powered speaker, not unlike other modelers. So you're basically going to want to place it right where your amp would be in your signal chain, right at the end. It's the last piece. So you're going to run your guitar straight into your pedal board and just add this right at the end. You can slap it right on the pedal board, it takes up barely any space, and now you have 3 amps on tap. You know, anyone who owns a laptop now pretty much has a mobile recording studio with them, and now with the advent of the Iridium, you're taking a huge backline with you. You're taking 3 amps with 9 cabs, which, unless you were recording at a major studio and you had cartage, is pretty hard to move around. You're basically getting 3 classic tones with 9 cabs, which gives you a lot of variation on those 3 tones, in a box, you know, that you can set on your desk. You can put on your pedal board, you can throw it in your backpack. It's also a great practice tool. It has built-in headphone jack, and you actually get to hear that amp tone with all the same reactiveness, all the same nuance and detail that you would get from the regular outputs. So for someone who's recording in an apartment setting, or you have roommates, or you just get inspired in the wee hours of the night, you have an option here to not sacrifice your tone and be able to still capture what you're going for any hour, any place. I think this pedal is really perfect for anyone who's playing a venue like a church where stage volume is a concern, or small venues where space is a concern. You get some real classic clean tones, a nice range of crunch, and some high gain too. Eddie Van Halen made the Marshall Plexi one of the most sought after tones, and now you have it everywhere you go. Rather than trying to squeeze 100 amp models into a tiny little box with a little menu, I think Strymon's approach of picking the 3 tried and true bread and butter amps that we all already know and love, the Fender, Vox, and Marshall flavor amps, was brilliant because it really covers so much ground, especially when you consider the 9 cabs that are provided. It gives you everything from a focused 112 sound to a more open 210 to a raging 412, which is everything you really need, and it's all right at your fingertips. More importantly, they all 3 react like real amps. All the finger detail, the nuance, the rolling back of the volume, cleaning up and then breaking up, it's all realistic and something that feels a certain way when you play that really will affect the way you play, because it feels like you're playing through an amp. Like I mentioned before, the Iridium was designed to replace your amp, and that means being able to handle pedals. Not only does it handle them well, it really reacts like an amp would. Let me demonstrate. I would have to say the one feature that really sets the Iridium apart is the room knob. It gives it a spatial quality that none of the other modelers really offer. This subtle but necessary feature is what really dials in the realism of a cab in a room being mic'd. It gives you the spatial feeling of the room. It really gives you an added control in designing and dialing in your tone, especially when you consider how great the models already sound on their own. This gives it that realism. Another factor that really sets the Iridium apart is its price point. At this price point, you're not going to find any other modeler that gives you the portability, the intuitiveness of controls, the realism of the modeling, and the customization or personalization, being able to add in your own IRs and use your own pedal board and not have to use some built-in effects, not have to scroll through hundreds of menus. It really is quite a lot at that price point that you're getting, and it's a great introduction for anyone going from the analog world into the digital world. I recommend it. A clear advantage that they have is the intuitive design. It's just like a stomp box or an amp, something that you're already familiar with. So this is a piece of gear that, even though it's new, before you take it out of the box, you already know how to use it, and that gives it definitely an edge. And I didn't want to leave out, it's consistent, something that you could record this tone at home and then take it from the studio to the stage, be able to replicate your tone, your sound, right off the album. That's something that's going to be hard to come by at this price point, with all the other features, the portability, the personalization, the ease of use, and the realism of the tone. If you enjoyed this week's video and you want to watch more videos like this, make sure you ring the bell and subscribe, and you'll get notified every Wednesday when we upload new videos. Next week we're going to be moving into our new location, so I'm excited about that. And the week after that we're going to have our first guest, a very special guest. Don't want to give it away just yet. You'll just have to tune in to see the new spot and the new guest, but I'm very excited, so hope to see you then.